Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And it is so early, you guys. It is 9:34 a.m. and I just made some coffee not too long ago in my cozy red plaid Christmas corksicle, and I'm drinking Barney's, I think it's called Santa's White Christmas or something like that. But anyway, it is so good. And I got up so early this morning. I went to bed early last night, and then I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like wide awake. Oh my God, what do I do? And so I came downstairs, and I was going to watch Wednesday on Netflix because I've been watching that show, but my best friend told me about the Texas Killing Fields. It's on Netflix. So I started watching it, and I finished the whole series, and then I was like, okay, I'm up, time to make videos. And so I'm making videos, and I made a drama video, and I made a booktube video. I made a booktube video today. I'm so excited. And so I was like, you know what? I want to start the day. I was getting ready to start uploading those and take a little bit of a break and drink some coffee and do some meditations. And I thought, why don't I do the Melody Beatty meditations on a video, not wait till later today, and get my day started with this. And then I can read them and kind of talk to you guys about them. So I read the titles from both of them. Both of the titles look good. I can kind of, at this point, I mean, I have so many meditation books in the bathroom. I keep them in the bathroom, like, up against this wall. And so I probably have, I don't know, 10 or 15 in the bathroom. And I can kind of just tell from the titles. Some meditation books don't have titles, but Melody Beatty's books do. I can kind of tell from the titles, like, if it's going to be, not if it's going to be good or bad, because I think that they're all good to some degree, but if I think it's going to be, like, I mean, if they're about, like, certain steps, you know, like if it says, like, evaluating the 6th step, like, that's not a video that I necessarily would do over here, because not everybody is in recovery working steps. But these today, I thought, were two topics. And like I said, like, the titles will be about something, and then I don't know where it's going to go, what direction it's going to go. But I liked the titles of both of these, and I thought they were things that are always good to talk about and work on. So I'm excited to read these, and then it's like having a conversation with, like, a friend of mine in recovery while we drink coffee. Okay, so November 30th, from The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty, is detachment. One day, my son brought a gerbil home to live with us. We put it in a cage. Sometime later, the gerbil escaped. For the next 6 months, the animal ran frightened and wild through the house. So did we, chasing it. There it is, get it, we'd scream each time someone spotted the gerbil. I or my son would throw down whatever we were working on, race across the house, and lunge at the animal hoping to catch it. I worried about it even when we didn't see it. This isn't right, I'd think. I can't have a gerbil running loose in the house. We've got to catch it. We've got to do something. A small animal the size of a mouse had the entire household in a tizzy. One day, while sitting in the living room, I watched the animal scurry across the hallway. In a frenzy, I started to lunge at it. I know where this is going, and I love this. In a frenzy, I started to lunge at it, as I usually did. Then I stopped myself. No, I said, I'm all done. If that animal wants to live in the nooks and crannies of this house, I'm going to let it. I'm done worrying about it. I'm done chasing it. It's an irregular circumstance, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. I let the gerbil run past without reacting. I felt slightly uncomfortable with my new reaction, not reacting, but I stuck to it anyway. I got more comfortable with my new reaction, not reacting. Before long, I became downright peaceful with the situation. I had stopped fighting the gerbil. One afternoon, only weeks after I started practicing my new attitude, the gerbil ran by me, as it had so many times, and I barely glanced at it. The animal stopped in its tracks, turned around, and looked at me. I started to lunge at it. It started to run away. I relaxed. Fine, I said, do what you want, and I meant it. 1 hour later, the gerbil came and stood by me and waited. I gently picked it up and placed it in its cage, where it has lived happily ever since. The moral of the story, don't lunge at the gerbil. He's already frightened, and chasing him just scares him more and makes us crazy. Detachment works. Today I will be comfortable with my new reaction, not reacting. I will feel at peace. Wow. Okay, this right here is God moment stuff. Like, and what I mean by God moments is like when I read something or hear something or something happens and it's like bling, 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 bling. You get the tinglies and the red lights and everything. You're like, I needed to hear this today, right? And, you know, the thing is, like, I've really, really worked hard on this. I think the thing, okay, when we do the work, and I talk over here a lot about doing the work, and I mean evaluation and inventory and accountability and taking a look at our past and righting our wrongs and making amends to people. You don't have to be in recovery to do this, right? Living a right life is what I'm talking about. When we work really hard at being the best versions of ourselves that we can be, or we work really hard at all of this kind of stuff, you know, it's sometimes we don't realize how it's like all come together till later. Does that make sense? It's like, do you remember the movie Karate Kid back in the day? And he would do like wax on, wax off and all that kind of stuff. And it was like only later did Ralph Macchio realize that he was teaching him karate, right? Like he didn't know that at the time. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, I might learn one skill, like to reach out and call somebody when I'm going through something. I might learn one other skill, which is like where my sponsor, I might like call her and, you know, complain about something and she'll say, let him twirl. That's another skill. You know, I might learn to peacefully hit the pause button and not react and learn how to respond. I've talked a lot about that in videos. And it's like all these different things that are happening, right? Like they're all kind of gravitating around each other. And then one day I wake up and I realize, wow, I'm not the same person that I was 3 or 4 years ago. Like, I've changed a lot, you know? A situation happened to me about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And it's a situation that, if I were to explain it to you, it would seem so menial. You guys would be like, seriously, Peter? But like 5 years ago would have sent me into panic mode. Seriously. I would have been like, I don't know what to do with this. Oh my God, blah, 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 whatever, right? And my response to it was just kind of like, they're going to do what they're going to do, you know? And I just was kind of like, it is what it is. And I didn't do anything with it. I didn't, you know, lunge out for the gerbil. I didn't feel the need to today. And, you know, I had made an amends in that situation. I had cleaned up my side of the street. I had continued to live out that. And, you know, it wasn't just talk for me. I was talking last night. In my meeting, we talked about making amends, and I shared that it's not only about making an amends to somebody, it's a lot of what you do after that. You know, when you make an amends to somebody, it's also, who are you after the fact? Like, a month or years down the road, like, do you continue to act as a person that has made an amends? And I had in this situation, you know, I had made the amends to this person, and then I had continued to act as if, because I had made this change in my life. They were the ones that hadn't changed, right? I didn't even talk to my sponsor about it until like 2 or 3 days later, and it was so funny because I was talking to her and I said, oh, and by the way, do you remember this situation that I did inventory on and made amends? And she's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I said, so let me tell you what happened. And she goes, what did you do? And I said, I didn't do anything with it. And I said, you know, it's so funny because 5 years ago, the situation would have brought me total panic. I had none of that. I had peace in my heart. And honestly, my response to it was, kind of makes me sad that that's where this person is today, you know? And she goes, that's huge growth in you. She goes, do you realize that? And I said, I sure didn't until that moment. I really didn't, you know? I like to think that sometimes I've grown as a human being, but I sometimes, you know, I'm not sure until I'm faced in those moments. This idea of not having to react is so huge, you know? It's like one of the things I have really, really learned, whether it's with family or friends or whatever is, I don't always have to put my 2 cents out there. Like, I mean, and listen, as a drama commentary channel, I'm going to put my 2 cents out there. So don't be put in the comment section, well, Peter, as a drama commentary channel, that's my job, okay? But like in my personal life, like, you know, I don't always have to, I mean, and this can be with my best friend too, when we're driving around talking and she's like, no, 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 no. I don't always have to, so yes, but Tanya, and, you know, I can just say, oh, okay. You know, I don't always have to give my 2 cents. I don't have to give my 2 cents to my husband. I don't have to give my 2 cents to my family. I can sometimes just sit there and shut up and not react. You know, I don't even have to respond. Responding is a healthier way, but I don't even have to do that, you know? And then what happens is I think sometimes we're emotionally detached from the whole situation at hand, you know? And I don't think, like, I knew where this was going in this situation. I knew that he was going to stop lunging after the gerbil and that the gerbil was just going to settle down. Like, I knew that that was going to be the lesson. I think in life, we would love for that to be the lesson, right? We would love for the gerbil to stop, or to stop lunging and then the gerbil just be put in the cage. I don't know that that's necessarily always the situation. I think there's going to be a lot of situations where chaos and mania are constantly around us, you know? There are some situations in my life where that I can't remove myself from because they're just situations in my life. We all have them, right? Where there is chaos and mania. You know, I mean, I talk in here enough about removing chaos and mania from your life. I agree with that, right? And removing toxicity. But I think for all of us, there's some situations where we can't do that. We do the best that we can. Then the next question is, what do you do when you are forced to go into those situations, right? Well, I can stay calm. I can stay peaceful. I don't have to engage. I can stay detached from the mania and the chaos, like he's talking about. I can sit in a chair and not lunge after the gerbil. And I think it's a perfect analogy, because I think in any situation where you start feeling yourself getting frazzled and like, ask yourself, am I lunging for the gerbil, you know? It's like one of my favorite sayings that one of my friends taught me was that whenever I'm going through something and I'm starting to think about like, well, next month and this and, you know, blah, 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 what am I going to do and how am I going to pay this and all this kind of stuff, and I start going over this, or if I start going to stuff in the past and I'm like, well, when this happened and that happened and whatever, she always says, where are your feet? And it's a simple lesson that you can look at. You can look down at your feet. My feet are below me. My feet are in today. My feet are in today. Where are you? I'm in today. I'm not in tomorrow. I'm not in yesterday. I'm in today. Let's keep it in today, you know? Let's keep it in today, and let's not lunge after the gerbil. I think it's a great lesson. I loved this meditation today. So, all right, let's read. Since it's the last day of November, we're gonna double down on the meditations, and I'm gonna read from the Melody Beatty Journey to the Heart. It's actually pretty short, I think. Yeah. So I can't believe it's the last day of November already. All right, November 30th. Trust each moment. Trust. Ooh, just spit this out of my mouth. Trust each moment. Trust. November 30th, trust each moment. Trust, trust, trust. Again and again, that's the issue. See how much of your pain, your anguish, your tension arises simply from not trusting the absolute perfection of the present moment. I've lost my way. I'm off track. I'm somehow wrong. In the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong thing. Where I'm going is a dead end. Oh dear. You are not off track. You haven't lost your way. You're going somewhere worth going, somewhere magnificent beyond the ability of your mind to comprehend. By trusting the perfection of each moment, you give yourself a gift, permission to enjoy the journey. Don't just take the trip. Let yourself enjoy the ride. Don't just take the trip. Let yourself enjoy the ride. I love this meditation as well. These were both really good today. You know, I'm such a believer in trusting the journey and enjoying the process. And you know, like the meditation that I did a couple days ago, where you know, talking about you're exactly where you need to be in life right now, I think is so important. And I think it's important to remember that don't rush things, you know. I think life goes so fast as it is. You know, I was thinking about something the other day, and like Alex and I were talking about his grandma. Alex's grandma is 93, right? And I was thinking about my dad, and my dad is 82, and, you know, my mom is gone, my aunt and uncle are gone, so many of my friends are gone at this point, you know, and I thought, and I'm 50, you know? And it's like, all of a sudden I was 50. I don't mind being 50. I really don't. Like, I enjoy getting older, but I'm 50. Like, I'm not 20 anymore, you know? Like, I'm not 30 anymore. It's like, I'm 50. And, it's like, somehow it just, all of a sudden, it caught up with me and I was 50. You know, it's like, life is fragile, you know, and enjoy the days that you're given. And do something every day to treat yourself, whether that's take a bath or do a face mask or take a 20-minute nap or, I don't know, have a piece of cheese or, you know, whatever. Or allow yourself to not lunge after the gerbil, you know, and give yourself some peace of mind. But I think to trust each moment and know that this moment is happening the way that it's supposed to happen is, you know, is really the way that it's supposed to be. What was I watching? I was watching something. Now I don't remember what it was. But they were saying, what was it? They were saying something. Oh, no. It was a friend of mine that I was talking to last night after the meeting. And I was telling her about something. And she said, but see, I believe that the things that happen in our lives, like, are put there for reasons. Which I do to some degree, right? So, whatever's happening to you today, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this, you know? Do something to make your day more enjoyable, you know? Or do something tomorrow to make your day more enjoyable. You deserve it. You deserve it. And remember the lessons that we learned today, which are don't lunge after the gerbil, and also where are my feet? And then I also want to say thank you guys so much for allowing me to start telling more addiction and recovery stories over here. I've really enjoyed it this month, and I'm going to do even more of it going forward. You know, December is my sobriety month. December 17th is my sobriety birth date, and I'll be doing more videos talking about addiction and recovery. So like I always say, if you have suggestions or if you have requests, please put them in the comment section below. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.